Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. Happy St. Patrick's Day week. I love St. Patrick's Day. I think I've shared with you all before that my great-grandmother was born on St. Patrick's Day. She would be 128 years old this St. Patrick's Day. And I was very blessed to have her for the first almost 21 years of my life. She was very, very special. She's a large part of my logo, and she's a large part of my why I do this, why I make cards, why I think sending cards are so important. And if you haven't seen, this is actually my favorite photo of the two of us. So that is me carrying a little baby doll, wearing, I don't know whose shoes, my dad's, maybe hers. We have to cross a fairly busy street to get to her mailbox, but we're going down to check the mail on this day. I'm about to, and I am most likely wearing clothes that she made for me. So super, super special lady. Her name was Odessa. So today, we're going to play with some fun foam. I forgot, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Michelle Salcho. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Middle Tennessee, where we got snow over the weekend in the middle of March. It's crazy. It was crazy. It kind of made a mess of a lot of our plans, but you know, plans are plans, right? You can't take care of every contingency. So anyway, I have kind of a mismatch that we're going to work on today. So let me see. Pop us down. Okay, so this card I made as part of a card class with some training earlier this year. Actually, might have even been in December, and just absolutely love it. And so this is where part of the inspiration for this card comes. The other one is one that I found by a German demonstrator, and so we're going to kind of just put the two together. I love this card so much that we included it in our technique class over the weekend for our St. Patrick's Day retreat. So that is the tutorial that goes along with that. Love the way we've changed up our tutorials. I'm going to use these Amazing Thanks dies. They're part of this Amazing Silhouettes bundle, and it's fabulous. This "You Are Amazing," you know, this thanks. I love when they have the shadow effect, I think is what you call it. So we're going to use the Amazing today, and we're going to use adhesive sheets and adhesive foam. We're going to use adhesive foam in a couple of places. So these are on page 40 of the mini catalog. This catalog goes through June. The foam, the adhesive that I'm talking about is towards the back of your catalog with all the other adhesives, which I've just about memorized the page numbers for some of the things that I need most often. So of course it's time for a new catalog. So the adhesives are on page 167 of the current big catalog, and adhesive sheets are number 13. So that's what we've used those quite a bit. You're familiar with that. And the foam adhesive sheets are just above it, number 12. So here and here. And this, do you remember fun foam? I use that sometimes in my classes to form a work surface. And foam, so I can't help but call this fun foam adhesive. All right, so let's get started, and I'll talk about this as we go. So I've got a piece of thick basic white. Now, are you all familiar with the difference in the whites, the white cardstocks? So I have a pack of thick basic white and regular basic white. The thick basic white comes in a pack of 24, and the regular basic white comes in a pack of 40. So that's why you'll see these prices are a little different. This thick basic white I think is 8 1/4, and this pack of basic white is $9.75. It's different weight. So the thick weight is more suitable for your card bases, and your regular basic white is more for card layers. All right, so we have a thick basic white layer, and I'm going to just set that over there. I've pulled out my rainbow dies, my basic border dies, and then the Amazing Thanks dies. These basic border dies are in the annual catalog. Now this annual catalog is getting ready to retire on May 2nd. So what does that mean? Well, that means get it now. We don't yet know what's going to retire other than our in colors. So these in colors down here at the bottom of page 123, these colors are going away. So the cardstock, the ink pad, the refill, the blends, all of that is going away, along with probably most of the designer series paper, most of the current patterns, but definitely this in color designer series paper assortment. These are great for backgrounds, which is what a designer, anyway. Okay, so stock up on those. But I came here to show you the basic border dies. Oh, look at me holding a thought long enough to execute for, man, I mean, that was truly impressive. Okay, the basic border dies are here on page 162. And if you flip to 59, you can actually see some of them in use as well. So here they are. They've cut this border here. We've used them a lot too. I actually have 2 sets of them. We did some really fun borders. Gosh, when this first catalog first came out, I might have to dig out some of those samples because we did some really cool stuff. Anyway, so this cloud die is the one that I pulled out from there, and then the Amazing Thanks using the Amazing, because I need to make some cards for my team recognition. We had our meeting last week, and it is time to get recognition out. And actually, I'm running a little behind. They deserve something. They deserve a faster treatment. Okay, so here's our big die, and I've pulled out Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Granny Apple Green, and Mango Melody. And those are the colors that we've used here that match, that coordinate with this paper. I've got that pulled out. We're going to add an adhesive sheet to each of those and run it through the die cut machine. I've already cut a couple of the borders of the cloud border, and I already have this white loaded up with the foam adhesive. So we're going to go ahead and cut this first, and then we'll add the foam adhesive to the others and get them cut. All right. This is a little bit wider than the mini, although it doesn't have to be. I could cut this in strips and take it through the mini just fine. But since I pretty much need the mini, the big one for this, I just decided to go ahead and do all of it with the larger. And sometimes you can even pull that out. Okay, so yes, you're seeing more of my messy desk, but you get a better idea of the cut and emboss machine. The mini is on sale this month. It is on sale 20% off, as are a lot of the bundles, and I have shared that with you. Okay, I already have adhesive sheet adhered to part of this black, not all of it. And I don't have a good reason for why not all of it. See, don't go looking for logic. It is early on a Monday. And this may be a regular time for me on Monday. It's kind of nice when Hardin doesn't have school, especially to have so much more of the day left if things come up for him. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure why that is so tight going through there, but it is. All right, and now my amazing, I'm going to need to take my pick tool to get that out. Oh, I think it's coming. There. All right. There is the amazing. So put that there. Put that over there. Set this aside. I'm going to be ready to make some more. And then let's do the shadow effect in white. And it is definitely tight going through. I guess I'm used to use the mini so much. Okay, now this, and well, I'll tell you that in a second. It won't make sense yet. Okay, so this is going to go like this. Isn't that cool? We'll pop out the center of that A. All right, so that is the amazing. Set that aside. I'll make some more of those. Now, I'll set this aside for just a second, and let's position the foam adhesive on here. So here's the foam adhesive. These are 4 1/4 by 4 1/2, and you get like 6 sheets in the package. So that's great. I've already cut this down to 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So I can cut 1 inch off of each one of these, which is definitely, okay, this is going to look nuts for a minute. And let's see if I can, without getting my head in it, can I line this up? I know that looks crazy, but that gives me my cut line. It made sense to me when I did it. I spoke too soon about that whole, I was functioning so well on a Monday, didn't I? Doesn't matter which side of this you peel off. It's just like a dimensional, except it's a one big sheet. I wonder if they discovered this by accident. Did they forget to trim? Did they forget to trim, to cut out the pattern of the dimensionals, the little hexagons, and came up with foam sheets? I don't think so, but I don't know. And the first piece I cut of this a few minutes ago, I did actually, because that 4 1/4 and 4 1/2, that's really a small distinction, so I very promptly put my white down there going the wrong way. Now, the whole point of doing the card this way is so that I can cut out the rainbow from each of these colors, and just by swapping out the arrangement of the arcs of the rainbow, I'll have 4 cards. All right, and I'm just going to bring my trimmer in to trim that off before we die cut. And I got a terrible glare, but I think well, I don't know that I actually cut through that. So, is it spring break for you, for your kids? It is spring break here. Hardin has 2 weeks of spring break at the school where he is this year. And the public schools in this area have this week off as spring break. So his friend Hayden came over for a little while yesterday. He and Hayden have been best of friends since they were a year and a half old. I'm going to go ahead and take this off too. And that way I don't think this will slip around as much. I could put a silicone sheet under it and that would help too. My desk is a little high for cranking the Big Shot. The cut and emboss machine. All right. Now, I don't want to necessarily move that around, so I'll take a little piece of Post-it tape, post it over there. And so this is going to cut out 4 different arcs of the rainbow for me. A little stickiness. Okay. I'm okay if it doesn't release right now. I've got more cutting to do. So there they are, each of the 4. And what I started to tell you earlier is if you wanted, you could even color the edges with the marker and it'll look like it's a solid stack of whatever that color is. Which is a pretty cool thing. And I thought about us, well, and we may still do this if it's not easy to distinguish where our little rainbows need to go. How the arcs need to lay down. I thought about actually doing an eclipse and cutting the white card, cutting a white card base, not card base, a card layer for these to fit in nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and cut one, I think, and we'll have it on standby in case we need it. I've already cut the little, I wanted some small clouds. I've already cut those as well. So one more trip through the Big Shot, and I think that we're pretty much ready to stamp and assemble. There's not a lot of stamping on this. Yeah, you all can't see that I've got this really up too high to... And, okay, granted, the foam adds a layer of thickness that you don't have with cardstock. All right, I think that's all we needed from this. Set it back in its little cubby. It's a safe bet that since I'm not organized, I'll have to get it back out. The other thing I really toyed with playing with today was the masks and doing something like with this, but they're still on back order, so I'm going to wait. Let me get this back in close. All right, so now let's take off this die. Oh, okay, yeah, I did it straight away, didn't I? I said I was going to cut out a white base in case we needed a guide. Okay, that one just immediately peeled off and stuck. But maybe we'll start at the bottom and we'll use this as a guide, and maybe that will be enough. All right, that's our dies. Now let's get the trimmer out, and we have our card base. We need a card layer. I'm going to cut this from white, just regular basic white, and I'm going to cut it 5 1/4 by 4. So this is pretty awesome. From 2 sheets of thick basic white and 1 sheet of regular basic white, 1 pass through the cut and emboss machine, which with each of our bright colors, we can make 4 cards. So let's, okay, here's our amazing. Let me find, take my pick tool. I am going to poke out the A. I'm going to crank my desk back up. I use a standing desk. I stand when I stamp, and actually I stand most of the day, except there's always an exception to the rule, isn't there? Yesterday I did a bunch of work on the computer and kind of watched TV with my husband. I sat most of the day. Okay, so now I am just peeling off the back from the adhesive sheet, and I have created a, we're going to call this a flat sticker. In black. And then we're just going to carefully, because I mean it's pretty flimsy, right? So I'm just kind of going to go letter by letter and line it up on the white shadow piece. Okay. I shared with you all last week about my daughter, and that her pregnancy is now considered high risk. She has an appointment at the end of the month with the high risk doctor. Is that not the coolest thing? Okay, super cool. Now, let me show you what I meant with, now this, okay, sorry, I'm having such squirrel moments over here. All right, tear that away. Now, I'm going to grab the marker and show you what I meant with coloring the outside edge. I'm not saying we're going to do this for all of them. I just want you to know how to do it. So I grabbed the magenta, dark magenta madness blend, and for our first card, this is going to be the outside arc. And I can come along with the brush side of this blend and you could do the same thing with the Stampin' Write marker. Okay, so, and that way, when you're looking at it, you don't see the white. And honestly, I like both effects, so I am not the right one. All right, next we would need a, now I really liked the way we stamped on these. For the first one, I'm not going to stamp on it. I'm going to see, we're just going to see how that looks. Might stamp on the next one. All right, then so we kind of have spacers in here that will help us with the placement of these. And we need Misty Moonlight for the inside. And we use this as our spacer. Now I grabbed the black blend so that I could do a little bit of splattering. Just for fun. You can also do this with your Stampin' Write markers. Does not require a blend. All right, now I'm just gonna set this in place here as a guide for placing this one. Just gonna kind of hold that down. I can always trim this white piece if I need to later. The bottom could be a little more jagged because I've got clouds to cover them. Then with this one, as long as I'm careful, I think these will be okay. And, you know, I'm not one to ever really require perfection. It's looking pretty. Okay. And then this is going to come along here, but let's go ahead and get this bottom cloud in place so that we know. And we may want to trim this cloud down. It might be thicker than we want. And we can trim it down before we place it or after. Right, I kind of like it just like that. And then the small clouds. I'm going to go like here. Here. And could put one here. And we're going to put some Stella on those because Stella makes everything better. We're also going to stamp some little hearts. But you can see how it's coming. I really like this. Okay. Take those off. I'm going to add Stella. Take that off for a second. I need my A block and my little hearts. And Memento black. Okay, get my hearts going the right way. Oh, super cute. Okay. Now, I think we'll add Stella before we put these down. And that way we won't worry about getting Stella anywhere else. Not that that would be the end of the world either. I like a little Stella. If you can't find Wink of Stella in the catalog, because I can't get to that very quickly right now, when this posts to my blog, there will be a full supply list and a recipe card for you. And it'll have the item number and the price for you then. All right, so let's just put a few little drops of glue on the bottoms of these. And we'll get this little cloud border in place. Well, I'm going to cover up my hearts. So yeah, I'm going to narrow this just about 1/4 of an inch. And this end I'm just going to cut, because I did that with my scissors. It's not at all straight. We'll let that dry and then we'll trim off that edge. This has a sticker on it. I've just peeled that backing off. So cool. And I'm going to put it like so. Oh, I love that this is coming together. It's a great way to start Monday. And, all right, so you guys dry a little bit. You can add some glue. Well, okay. Just gonna flip this over, do this with my scissors. Now I can add it to my card base. So the last thing we're gonna do is put those little clouds down, and we're gonna add some black dots. And I've got a couple different ones to show you. Oh gosh, my stomach thinks it's time to eat because this silly daylight time change has got it all confused. Okay, like I said, I'm going to put one here and then one right here. And I think one right there. So this one there, this one, there. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. I hope you guys do too. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna have to try it though, stamping the patterns in the arcs too, although I don't know, maybe not. Okay, so what about some bling? I've got out the classic matte dots, which are very cool. They have like black, gray, vanilla, and white. Okay, and they're not quite as round as the matte black dots. So these would have a little more, they're truly round, whereas these are a little flat, a little more flat on the surface. I'm going to go ahead and use the larger ones, the rounder ones, because Well, no, I changed my mind. It's my prerogative, right? I really haven't looked to see. Good morning, Lori. I'm just now seeing your comment. So, what's your take on this? I'd love to get the little audience perspective. Should we stamp the patterns on the arcs or just leave it just like this, very clean? I feel like we're going to have to try both ways in order to make an informed decision. All right, I want one of those up there, and then a small one there, and a small one tucked into the A there. And then let's put one over here, a cloud. Another one up here by these hearts. All right, that is my card for today. Let's at least lay out the other one. How long have I been talking? We've gone 36 minutes here. All right, let's get a little bit of this other one done so you can see what I meant about swapping up the arcs, right? So this time, the Magenta Madness is going to come first. Oh my. But it wants to come with all its little sisters connected too. Okay, I'm just putting this down for a little idea of where to go. And I think that's got that. All right, so then pink, and then Misty Moonlight. Brought the pink over, yeah. And then Granny Apple Green. Be fun to do something with these little inner pieces too. I guess they could make a really narrow rainbow. And you could do this in so many different color combinations too. Do it all neutral. Oh my gosh, so many possibilities. Right, so that's how you get extra cards from this, just by changing up the order of your arcs. I absolutely love this. I hope that you all do as well. This will post to my blog at michellesalcho.com. There is a new host code starting right now. This is a big week. With St. Patrick's Day, my free online class is on Thursday, and we are featuring the new Waves of the Ocean bundle in that class. If you haven't seen that yet, the paper is gorgeous. The stamps are really cool. The dies, oh my gosh, the wave die, they're 2 wave dies. They're amazing. The stamp is so detailed. That class is on Thursday at 11. I think it's still 11. But I am trying out this 9 a.m. time slot to see how that works for everybody as well. If that is an online class, if you're looking for something that's in person, if you're local to my area, next Tuesday is the Tuesday Express class. That's on the 22nd. And you'll make 4 cards. There are 2 designs. You make 2 each. The fee is $20. So it should be lots of fun. That is in person in my studio in Gallatin, Tennessee. So you've got 2 options pretty close together for something that is online or something that is in person. The online class is free, and then with an ordering special, you can receive a card kit in the mail. If you're a member of my team, you get that card kit at a deep discount. So I will see you again on Wednesday and then Thursday. Wednesday I'll be on Facebook. Thursday I'll be on Facebook. And I hope we can stamp together very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.